What's up, everybody? Super excited for a lot of different reasons. We got a lot of different things going on. We just signed a couple new deals as far as partnerships. We just signed with Just Ingredients. Use code BEN10. I'll drop it below. Literally my favorite supplement ever. So grateful for them. Like I mentioned earlier, we just signed and partnered up with Slackwater, Provo Riverwoods. If you've heard of Slackwater, you know it's great food, great vibes, great people. This one is in the Provo Riverwoods. We are super excited to announce we will be partnering with them weekly and be doing a live show featuring guests, whether they're pro athlete, former pro athlete, business people. There's going to be a guest live for an hour segment at Slackwater, Provo Riverwoods. Details are on their way. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Benconnected. Absolutely stoked. We got a lot of exciting news to share with the listeners, the subscribers. Shout out the subscribers. We hit 2,000 on YouTube the other day, which is big time. Subscribers are a pain. So shout out y'all. Shout out all the views. Shout out all the love. Even the hate. We got a lot of hate on some TikTok videos. Shout out that too. We love you as well. But today we have a unique guest that I'm super excited to be able to talk about his story and just kind of where he is now and where he started. And that is, you guys might know him as Buff BYU Cheerleader. You might know him as just the guy, the hype guy on the sideline. You might see him at playing college football at Snow. However you might know Ammon Montenegro, he is here in the house today. We're going to chop it up with him. Ammon, what's good?
What's up, man?
How are you, bro?
Good, bro. It's good to be here, man.
Man, I can't wait to just chop it up, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I haven't been on that many podcasts, but I'm always like honored to be invited. So thank you.
Hey, dude, it was just like destiny. It was funny. Like, I remember obviously seeing you on the sidelines and stuff at BYU games. I was like, dude, that dude is so jacked. Right. Yeah, I was like, bro, that dude's cool. And then I saw it's interesting how like social media works, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Is like I saw you in real life at a game. I was like, that dude looks cool, whatever. Bro, the next I don't know, hour and a half, I swear every For You video was your Instagram. And I was like, bro, I just met a celebrity. This is crazy. So I was like, hey, that dude's cool. And so super excited that you're here. Appreciate you taking the time. Obviously, you have a lot of different things going on in your life with the season, and you go to so many different events for BYU. So I know you're busy, so I appreciate you taking time. But let's dive back. Let's peel the layers back. And let's talk to how you got here. Obviously, you're now influence, and influencer is kind of an interesting word, but I feel like you're influencing around what you're doing. You have a brand, you have an image, and it's super awesome. But man, let's start way back when. So tell me a little bit about yourself, bro.
Hey, thanks, man. So I grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada, and being in Utah, everyone asks, oh, so Henderson? And I want to clarify, I'm not from Henderson.
Okay.
Nothing against Henderson, but that's just not where I was from. I was born and raised in more of like central Las Vegas.
Okay.
So if anyone knows Bonanza High School, that's where I went.
Okay. So you're talking like I'm from the Strip, you're
like 15 minutes
Vegas.
from the Strip. I'm way closer to the Strip than like anywhere else they probably know. In Vegas.
Now Vegas is smooth.
Yeah, no, it's cool. And a lot of people ask growing up, like, what'd you do for fun there? I'm like, bro, it's just a normal city, Like the Strip is like the entertainment part.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was just a normal kid, like growing up, kicking it with the kids on the block and stuff like that. I mean, I think just like growing up, I had a pretty unique experience. It was very normal for me. But coming up here, I don't like call it like the Utah bubble or nothing, but I was raised outside of like what is like really known as Utah. Like let's just think like West Valley.
Yeah.
Basically something like that.
Okay.
Like I was probably like half a mile away from being zoned to like one of the most ghetto high schools in Vegas.
Really?
Shout out Western High School. My fault, you guys. It is what it is.
But yeah, I mean, hey,
like
school though.
Yeah, I had some really like the place I grew up. It wasn't terrible, but I mean, I had some interesting experiences. So I'm the 7th of 11 kids.
Oh wow!
And that's also a big part of like my upbringing. So I mean, like
that's a lot of siblings, bro.
Yeah, and I love it now. But when I was younger, it was like, dang, We don't get to go to Disneyland like every other family. We don't get to go on these trips. I mean, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad was out there hustling, just working,
Yeah.
because he had to provide for 13 total people.
Right.
And
That's a
so,
lot.
yeah, I was just, I grew up just learning to work hard, because sometimes working with my dad, because he did construction. Like, you get home from school or like on the weekends, like, oh, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, I went and worked with my dad. And at the time, I really did not like it, but it was probably it was a really good thing, because I learned how to, like, one, work hard,
Yeah.
work ethic, and then just what it means to, like, be responsible. And that there's really, like, you gotta, how do I say this? If I didn't do the job, that whatever we were doing, my dad would have to do it himself regardless.
Right.
So I'm like, well, like, I gotta,
Yeah, you gotta help your dad.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
different. It's
Or else
family
he's gonna,
business at that point.
exactly.
Which is like so yeah, and I think that's what's so empowering. You know what I mean? Like it's like so my grandpa before he died. So like I'm super close with him. My dad was in Afghanistan my whole life, and so my grandpa kind of raised me a little bit. I mean, my dad did too, but like my grandpa and I were really close before he passed, and like he like to his dying day was freaking delivering food at the food bank. Like that was just his thing. He was like,
Yeah.
bro, I'm going to give these people food. He's like carrying his oxygen machine, and I'm like, yeah, same thing. I was like, bro, if I don't go help him,
Yeah.
yeah, bro, he's dragging the oxygen while
Yeah.
he's delivering food to these people, and I'm like, oh yeah, how can I like make it personal? Like same thing. I was like, bro, this sucks. Like I don't want to do this on
Yeah.
a Saturday, but I think it's just so special looking back, and you're just like, wow, like I helped my family, but I also like learned a lot,
Mhm.
like about just working and like also like loving people, you know.
Yeah.
So that's super cool that you. So you're, I mean, busy dude. You have a lot of siblings. Were they all? Was your family a sport family, like into sports early on, or like kind of where did you develop your love for sports?
Yeah. So I was the fourth boy. So I had
Okay.
older brothers who got into sports in high school. Now again, with a big family, and we're all like pretty athletic
Yeah.
in a sense. So, and I really, just like growing up in America, bro, you just love football. Like, I just want to play football. I just want to tackle kids, because all my friends were doing it. But we didn't do little league football. We
Okay.
didn't do, like, I didn't play organized sports. I'll explain a little bit about middle school, but until high school,
Okay.
because I mean, my dad wasn't gonna pay for 8 kids to play little league football or like little league whatever, whether my brothers and sisters, and then on Saturdays his one day off, spend his whole day at all these other games or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he just told us, hey, you're gonna do sports when you get to high school, and you're gonna go all out, and that's where you're just gonna ball out essentially.
Yeah.
And so, but I always just wanted to play. I just wanted to play, but I could never get on any organized sports. Even my buddy's dad, he was willing to like pay for me, pick me up, take me, but my dad just said he didn't want me to do something that he wasn't able to like support. Not like support, like didn't want me to do it, but
Yeah.
he couldn't just go to everything, right?
Yeah. You want to be there for you.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so, but then I got to middle school, and that's where my first like experience into like trying out for a sport, doing a sport. And obviously, like you play like a little pick up basketball in elementary school,
Yeah.
play soccer, you throw a football around, whatever. But I tried out, no basketball experience really. Tried out for middle school basketball. Did not make it 6th grade, and then I pull up the second day trials because my brother was a manager, and then one of the other managers like goofing off, and so I
Yeah.
jokingly told the coach, and this like mindset and attitude kind of has taken me far and gotten me a lot of cool opportunities. But I was like, hey, if he doesn't want to be the manager, I will. And the assistant said, all right. And that was probably one of the coolest things to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Because then, like, this is just middle school. So then I went to every practice, traveled to all the games. I used to practice with the team just for fun, do the
Yeah.
drills. But I was like a manager, which was
Which
cool.
is cool.
And then going into 7th grade, same thing. I was a lot better. I try out. Coach comes up to me, hey man, since you were such a good manager last year, we wanted you to be the manager this year. I was like, I know what that means. All right, no problem, whatever. And then I do that again, same thing. I get better, and then 8th grade year, we got a new head coach, but I mean, I tried out again. And I made the 8th grade basketball team, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm on the team. I got a jersey,
Yeah.
not just like a side alternate manager, whatever. First game, I fouled out in like 3 minutes. I mean, bro,
That might be a record out of.
it was, yeah, it was, but it was fun.
Yeah.
And then like the only workout I ever did was like just push-ups and like some ab crunches, and I was not very good at pull-ups, but
Yeah.
and just like running, conditioning,
Yeah.
and that's what I did until I got to high school, and then my brothers, they wrestled and played football, and that was like our thing.
Okay. That's the
And
family thing.
yeah, and oddly enough, I mean, we're not very tall. I'm only 5'6",
Yeah.
and my other brothers, because in high school they wrestled, they're probably walking around at like a $160, $170, and at the time I thought that was big stuff, and now I'm like 215, and I'm like, that's really little.
That's kind of little body.
But their coach put them on the O line. They were center. So my two
At
oldest,
160?
yes. So they're center on varsity. So number 53, that's like our family's number because they were center and linebackers.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess in like high school, you
I mean, you can make it work a little
Right.
bit, but 160 is kind of crazy.
still, but like I mean they had that dog in them, so they were
Yeah.
able to like go and do it. And then, you know, I get my freshman year, and they're like, you're a Montenegro, you're putting your hand in the dirt. I'm like, no. I'm like, let me. Like, I want to try running the ball. Never
Yeah.
got an opportunity to try. I mean, I didn't do Little League, so I didn't really have that experience. But
Yeah.
still, I'm a freshman. Give me a shot. But then I played linebacker, so I did that all 4 years.
Okay.
And then going into, like, my junior year, they kind of put me a little bit more at, like, a fullback position. And then my senior year, we got a new head coach. Then I was full-time fullback and then linebacker. So I played both ways the whole game. So that was cool. And then so that's, like, football for me. And I loved it so much. And
Yeah.
then wrestling, I did that. That was cool too. I never wanted to quit anything more than wrestling.
Really?
My freshman year,
I mean, that's brutal. I've seen, bro, as a hooper, like, because wrestling and basketball are the same
right,
time.
right.
And, like, I remember walking by the wrestling room, and I was like, yeah, I think I made the right decision. Like, every hard practice that I had, I looked over there, and I was like, yeah, it's easy. Like, I got to lock in. Like, I got to focus. Like,
Yeah.
my practice is so much easier than watching those dudes, what they do at
Yeah.
wrestling practice. So I was like, yeah, like.
Yeah, y'all are the basketball.
No, we're
they're,
soft.
They're sprinting, but we're doing full body grappling and then sprinting on top of that.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
y'all-
I almost was like, oh man, high school. My brothers wrestled, but I like basketball, and I'm like, okay, should I play basketball? I was like, then I got pressure, not pressure, but I was like, I gotta wrestle,
Yeah.
and it was hard, and I wanted to quit, but then it was like I knew I just had to do it. Like, it's one of those things that it was so hard, and it never got easier. I think the best part was just winning. Like, winning your matches made the grind so worth it.
Yeah.
But it also was worth it, but it wasn't worth it. It was so hard.
Yeah.
But anyways, then
yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, then like so there was wrestling, which allowed me to like just learn again how to work hard, how to
Yeah.
get through pain, how to just know that the end will come. And that's like a big lesson. Like, man, I could quit now, but this isn't going to be forever. Like, the end will come. The end of practice will come. And so I've been able to get a lot through that. And then, I mean, I did volleyball my freshman year just because my buddy did it.
Why not?
And then
High school's so fun like that.
Yeah.
You just do everything. Like, you just can, at least, like, you can try everything, you know what I mean, in
Right.
high school, which is smooth.
I wish I played. I wish I played baseball, but baseball's kind of a sport, especially. I don't know about anywhere else, but like in my school,
Yeah.
because they were pretty good. Because they won state like a couple years before.
Okay.
Unless you played growing up, like you weren't gonna.
Yeah, no, you got
Like,
no
I didn't
chance.
have any gear. I had no experience. But
Yeah, it's different.
yeah, and so I couldn't do that. But then I did some track and field just for fun. And you might think I was a thrower, but my buddy did triple jump and long jump. So I was like, oh, I'll do that. And so I did
That's
that
so
with some
sick.
high jump. But then I did some like 4x1, 4x2, and the 100 and 200. So it was cool. It was fun. I mean, I wonder how I would have done if I threw. And then I did like weightlifting.
Yeah.
Our weightlifting coach, he was on like the world team back in the day, and so he understood like cleans, power jerk,
Yeah.
or like power cleans,
Like, actually how
clean
to
and jerk,
lift.
exactly, snatches. And so we go and we compete against other schools, and so it was cool because my senior year, I broke like 4 school records in lifts.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's actually kind of crazy. Actually, I mean, not really 5, but kind of 5. So
No,
I'll
we're
start
playing 5.
I'll
5
start-
sounds nice.
right.
We're
So
claiming 5.
do you know who Adam Stewart is? He used to play linebacker in the NFL.
Okay.
I think for the Panthers.
Okay.
So he went to my high school. So I was the second person behind him in my school to accomplish 4-time 1,000-pound club like participant. So basically, at the end of the year, you total in your bench, deadlift, and back squat.
Okay.
And so my freshman year, I mean, I hit 1,000 pounds. I benched like 225, back squat 365, 375, and then deadlifted like 405. Just like,
Yeah, just casual.
and I was like,
Yeah, just casual.
okay. And it was funny because
This man just said it's casual though. Like how you just said that was so smooth. He said, "Yeah, just bench 225. It's just this."
well, I was just like, I mean,
Because were you always like into like lifting? Like
no, actually,
Because I mean that's crazy. Like your normal dude as a freshman,
right.
is not just going to bench 225. Like I have a lot of freshmen on my basketball team.
Yeah.
I won't out them, but I know sure as hell they ain't gonna be benching 225.
Well,
I got seniors that ain't even doing
Bro,
225.
when I got like the summer going into my freshman year, I couldn't even bench a plate.
Really?
And it's because like I never lifted. Like I don't know. There's something about don't lift when you're young, you'll stay short. I must have started way too early because I'm still short. But
you're Jack though, so it's cool.
I mean, I'll just have to say now, there's some genetics worked in there, but I also worked really hard, like in the weight room. I was just, like I said, I was always grinding. But honestly, lifting, this is how my lifting went.
Yeah.
Like all through high school. So I worked out for the summer for football. Once school starts, I'm in classes. I don't have weightlifting class.
Yeah.
So I didn't lift until the next summer. Granted, I'm at football practice, but you're not lifting. Wrestling, you're cutting weight. You're not lifting. And then I was doing volleyball, not lifting. And then summer came for my sophomore year. Football, lifts, do that. School year starts again. So I did summer.
Yeah.
But I didn't lift until like more consistently to like the spring of my junior year. Because I was like, I'm going into my senior year.
Like,
I want to not do sports. I just want to focus on spring ball. And then I did that summer. And then finally my senior year, I took a weightlifting class. I actually took 2 back-to-back, like 5th and 6th period.
Okay.
Which allowed me to.
In high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I started like really lifting consistent. And then my weights, my numbers started to really go up. Except I remember my freshman year, I didn't like 225 a bench. Yeah, it was like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
But I was like, my squat and everything was just so much higher. So I was like, I don't really care to bench because I wanted to focus on cleans because my older brothers started getting into cleans. And so like the second oldest, so that means the third oldest, more serious into it. And then of course that put me right on the boat to just get into it. And then, so I really just focused on cleans, and people always talk about my legs.
Yeah.
And
I have. It's funny when I mentioned that you were gonna hop on the podcast. I mentioned it to 5 people. We want to out them, but all 5 of them were like, "Oh, bro, the Quadzilla." I was like, "All right, bro." I was like, "Let me see this." They're like, "Oh, you haven't seen the videos?" And I was like, "I mean, I wasn't checking out my dog's legs, but let me see." And so, yeah, that's what I've been told.
Oh, so
now I should have. Hey, low key, if I would have known you were gonna wear shorts, I probably wouldn't have worn shorts. I would have hid my legs a little bit better. So hopefully we chop that out.
Oh no, you're good. I'll pull them down. No, but like, so I don't know. Again, like there's some genetic factor in there, but like also my senior year, I was squatting 4 times a week, just because I wanted to like improve my clean. I just want to have stronger legs because I didn't care about benching. Like who cares about benching really, right?
Yeah.
If you do cleans, full body, you have a strong core. You do jerks. I mean, you can like put weight over your head. Yeah. I mean, anyways. But then, so I like back squat.
We're gonna go back to that. We're gonna go back to his thoughts on bench press.
I did back squat Monday, front squat Tuesday, arms and abs on Wednesday, and then Thursday back squat, Friday back front squat, with like cleans on Monday, jerks on Tuesday, clean and jerks on that's like what I was doing. Yeah. And so like the records I broke in high school, I was the second person to be a 4-time 1,000-pound club behind a eventual NFL football player.
Yeah, that's big time.
And then I broke the clean record, which is set by my older brother. It was like 355. I hit 365 last day of school. It was so
really
cool. And then not back shot. It was clean and jerk. I hit 330. Jerk.
Golly, bro.
Jerk was 340. And then there's a thing we did like so you have like 225.
Yeah.
It was a back squat rep thing. So basically you rep out 225 as many times as you can.
Yeah.
I remember I pulled up freshman year and like all the records are on the wall.
Yeah.
Pulled up freshman year. I might be making the number up because I can't really remember, but it was like in the low 20s or something.
Yeah.
And again, I just started lifting. There's no way I can do that. And I didn't even think about that. But also I wasn't in the class, so I had like no opportunity to even try.
Right.
But then it like went up a little bit. And then my senior year, just one day I was like, in class, I was like, I think I'm going to try this. And a kid in my class, in my grade, he did 38. So he did 225 for 38 times.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay, so let me just try. So I get on the bar, and of course, like everyone's watching because you have to get passed off. So I get on the bar, and then I try to go fast but then that was not the move for like a long.
Yeah, that's not the long game.
Right. And so I go fast, and then I'm like, okay, I need to slow down. And then I think at like 14, I didn't black out, but my mind was just like, just go, because other people were counting. And then I'm getting to like 35, and I'm still going. And I hit 38, and then I was like, well, I don't want to do 39. Let me just keep going to like 40. And then as I get to 40, I was like, I might as well just go 50. So then I go up to 50. But then again, my family number is 53. Yeah. And so I was like, let me just go 53. So then I do 53. And I was like getting gas a little bit, but like
you're dying.
I had more in the tank for sure. But I did 53. Okay. And in my mind, it's like, I just try this again later and get more. But so I like rack, because we're going to the wrestling season. And so I didn't want my legs to be too dead. So I did 53 reps. I rack it. And then
everyone just go nuts.
Yeah, because I blew the record out the water, and I was planning on going back and like trying to get like 70 or something at the end of the year, but then I was focused too much on getting the clean record.
Yeah.
Which I eventually was able to get. But anyway, so that was like high school. So it was cool, sick, but it was like basically it's weird to say this, but there comes a point when like the way you lift, the way you look is just so normal to you that for other people it's just crazy.
Yeah.
But like when I look in the mirror, I don't see like what's the hype, but then when other people see me, they're like, bro, you're freaking huge or whatever.
You're like,
I'm
bro,
like,
it's normal.
God, like when I look at my legs right now, I'm like, oh, these are normal. But like the other people, they're like, bros. But
not normal.
That's just kind of how like it was for lifting, and
that's
like,
cool though.
The way I'm built, like right now, it's just like so normal to me that when people say it, I think it's just so, like, it's so funny because I don't know really how to like react to it. Like, bro, you're so jacked, you're so strong. I'm like, thanks, bro. I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say?
Bro, I saw the funniest thing. So, like, it was the funniest meme. It was like this dude, he's like, hey, I'm going to get jacked, to get girls. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, I'm going to get jacked. And he goes, the DMs that I got after I got jacked, and it's all dudes being like, bro, how'd you get jacked? How'd you do it? And it's like, no girl. And he's like, I feel like I got, like, frauded, Like, bro, he's like, I, like, get jacked. And I'm thinking, like, hey, the shorties will like it. Yeah. And don't get it wrong, the shorties definitely like it. But the dudes that are sliding in the DMs are like, bro, what do you want? Bro, how do I do it? Bro, how do I get it?
Actually, now that you mention that, like,
it was the funniest meme, though. I watched it, like, I was like, dude, this is, like, spot on.
No, I've seen it. But in high school, again, so my sophomore year, I went into, because I wrestled 170s. I go into my sophomore year of football season. I, like, got up to 205. And it was, like, baby fat, right? Like, and then I cut back down to 170. So I lost 35 pounds in, like, however.
But wrestlers can do that stuff. It's crazy.
And, like, I found a way to do it. A lot of running, a lot of sauna suit runnings and stuff. And eating a little bit throughout the day, which is how I know how to, like, cut weight but not, like, starve.
Yeah.
But, so I was like a $185, like, most of high school, right? And so all the weights I was lifting, I was, like, 185 or below. But there was really a point. Because people kept out, even high school, I'm like, bro, like, you on steroids? Bro? I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, again, I'm like, what do you see that makes you think I'm on steroids? Like, yeah, I know I'm like cut, but I'm not that big. But there was literally a point it crossed my mind a couple times, like, maybe I'm just going to stop lifting.
Really?
Like, literally, it was like, I don't want to, like, I don't think I'm big, but to other people, I'm really big, which I still don't think I was big, but I'm like, I don't want this attention. And if I'm getting too big for, like, I don't know, like, at the time I was like, for girls to like me because I literally have heard that, like, he's too buff. Because I was only 5'6", so they're like, you can only get too tall and too jacked before people are like, nah, I'm good. And so I was literally like, dang, I might just, like, stop lifting. Yeah. But then I was like, nah, because I enjoyed it, and I, like, wanted to, like, improve in, like, all my lifts and stuff like that. But I really, like, actually almost considered, okay, let me just, like,
take a break for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I've also heard that though. Like, I didn't have that problem. I was always like, bro, I need to lift more, and, like, that's what sucked, bro. Is, like, I would go to the gym with buddies that, like, I had a kid in high school that, bro, was just shredded, had a 44-inch vertical, like, just freaky athletic, would pound like a freaking. He would down a 12-pack of Mountain Dews, and we'd go to practice, and he would just be totally fine, flying above the rim, elbow at the rim, catching lobs. And I'm, like, in the weight room, like, actually doing everything the coach says to do. And I'm just not, like, like, I got stronger, but, like, not. And this dude, like, did, 25 curls, and it's like he's jacked. And I'm like, bro, All right, so I just kind of accepted the fact, like, I'm just a hooper. Like, I'll just be a basketball player, run in the corner and shoot threes, get back, talk shit. You know,
White boy in the corner.
that's what we do. You know, that's what we do. That's how it is. So okay, so you fall in love with lifting. You lift a ton. You dominate the weight room at your high school. You kind of get to that senior year of like, hey, you know, what's next? You know, were you
Yeah.
always a mission guy? Like for me, I wasn't always a mission guy. Like I
Right.
was like, hey, I'm gonna go hoop. Like
Yeah.
it was just hoop. That's gonna be my mission.
Yeah.
And then God rerouted that real quick and said, "Nah, bro, you're going on a
Yeah.
mission." And it was crazy, bro. Like, I full on. I like my senior year. I was like, I told everyone, I was like, I'm gonna go hoop. I committed. Like, I literally had offers from like UVU, Utah. Like, I had interest from a lot of different schools, and I was like, bro, like, where do I want to go? And so I really had my eyes set on UVU. My brother played there, so I was like, I really want to go to UVU. Dick Hunsaker and I talked, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna come to UVU, but I'm not gonna sign. And then, dude, like 2 nights later, I was like, God was like, yeah, you're going on a mission.
Yeah.
And again, I was not the spiritualist guy. Like you ask anyone at high school, they'd be like, no way, he's going on a mission. But hey, that's like what that's what the
cool.
gospel is about.
Exactly,
right?
that's cool.
It's about change and feeling. And
Right.
so I literally, was not a mission guy, but turned into a mission guy. Was that kind of how is that like? Because you ended up going on a mission.
Yeah.
So what was kind of that process
So-
like?
So football was like my biggest priority because I loved it so much. I
Yeah.
mean, middle linebacker was my favorite. I just like pursuing. I like tackling. I like
Just nailing people.
leading the defense and just like being part of like stopping offenses and all that stuff. So I loved it, and I really wanted to go play college football because even since like elementary school, since like second grade, I was like, I love football. I never played it before, but I just love it. And so I was like, you know, because I was always growing up, I was like, okay, we're going on a mission. Again, I was the sixth one in my family to go if I were to go. And so, like, going on a mission was kind of like, okay, maybe like a year of school and then go. But I was like, I really want to try to go play ball. 5'6" middle linebacker, bro. Like, you're not going Division I
It's a little
anywhere,
tough.
unfortunately. And so I'm like coaches, they're getting some letters for some of the guys and some like D2, like some D1, but just like some interest. But like, nothing for me. But then we get like these D3 recruiters coming in for like St. Olaf's and like these places in North Dakota and stuff like that.
And you're like, I'm not trying to go there.
Right. And I'm like,
but like, you want to play.
I want to play, and like I want the hype of like getting school paid for because I'm not trying to go pay for school if I'm going to play football.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to go, and I was like, maybe I'll just like take a chance to go ball out. And then it was going into like, it was like December, January of my senior year. And then, yeah, I mean, because that was my plan, like take a year, go to school.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm pretty sure I'll still go on a mission, right? But then, yeah, one day I just read my Patriot Blessing and it spoke to me differently. And then right at that moment, and it was cool because right at that moment, I knew I needed to go on a mission. And I was able to like now think clearly. Like now I don't even need to worry about like what schools to try to go look at, like where to go visit, all this sort of stuff. So I was like, dang, like mission is what I'm doing. So like that is where my focus will be.
Yeah.
And which was cool because it put me on like a track because I started I met a girl who actually went to like Bishop Gorman. She used to wrestle there. So
she wrestled.
Yeah.
Oh, fire. Okay.
Yeah. And so like she wrestled there. So like we met at kind of like a tournament. Then actually I hit her up back on Twitter in the DMs.
Okay.
Anyways, but then so she wasn't a member. She grew up like her like a split household, and then she was living with her mom and her stepdad.
Got it.
Cool people. But yeah, just ended up, long story short, inviting her to just like we would hang out. One of the first people I ever like bore testimony to.
Really?
And then I actually talked to Kalani about this because they did a fireside in Vegas like that time of year.
No way.
And he was there and he spoke about like his upbringing in a divorced family, keeping the commandments, like living the gospel.
Yeah.
And I invited her to that, and I think that like really was like an impactful moment for her because then she eventually, joined the church.
Really?
And it's really cool. And I'll say this part, like she joined the church. I went on my mission on it, like, and we never eventually like got back together, but like I went on my mission. I came home. She went wrestle 4 years in college, and then she went on her mission.
So cool.
And then now she's married in the temple with a kid. Her mom joined the church.
So
it was cool because like that kind of prepared me to like get ready to serve a mission, right?
Absolutely.
And Kalani, he was a big part of that. So shout out him because we were able to talk about this.
Yeah, shout out Uncle, man.
But yeah, then I went on the mission. Like that was where my whole focus was, and then I worried about sports when I got home.
Yeah, I
But I
think,
went to Liberia, which is in West Africa. I didn't know where it was. I thought it was Middle East, but then
and
it
then
was in West
you're like,
Africa.
oh, it's not there.
Nah,
What
but it
was
was
that
cool.
like? Like I mean, you're coming from Vegas to another country, different level. Like,
Bro,
I mean, I went to Texas, and that's like a different country too. Like,
right.
I mean, and they'll remind you too. Like, they're like, hey, Texas, like you came from America. I was like, dude, like we're in America. He's like, nah, you're in Texas. I'm like,
Yeah, that's true.
all right,
That's
dude.
funny.
Like, all right, guy. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool, but
No, my mission it was. So I remember I did one internet search on Liberia.
yeah,
Not gonna lie, I didn't know. Like I didn't really learn anything. It was like maybe a minute.
yeah.
And so I literally went to Liberia knowing absolutely nothing about that place. So I mean, I just
So you went in there blind.
exactly. And over time, like the longer I was there, the more I realized, dang, I feel like I came back in time. Like I feel like I have gone back in time because of the civil war that happened there. The infrastructure, everything is just not developed, and uh, I literally just felt like I went back in time. I mean, people living in like people pulling out the well. I mean,
Oh
there's some like
wow.
development still, right? And that's where my misconception of Africa was also fixed. I mean, it's still like society is like
Yeah,
living there, but it's just way behind.
way different.
And so,
Okay, everybody, we are so grateful for our partners, our sponsors, companies that we just work with. One of those companies is Lodge 33 Hat Streetwear, literally the best hat in the game. You can get all your BYU, Utah. They just got licensed with a few other universities. Can't wait to see those products hit the floor. Also, if you want any custom work, tap in with Lodge 33 and use code CONNECTED when you check out, and you'll be taken care of. Appreciate our guys at Lodge 33. Dunked Cookies is an incredible cookie spot out in Saratoga Springs. Super family friendly, great venue, great environment, but even better people. Love those people over there. Shout out my peeps. Make sure to tap in over there at Dunked Cookies out in Saratoga Springs for all your cookie cravings. If you're ever in a jam and you don't know where your keys are, you lock your keys out, or you just need an extra key, call Noble Locksmith. Let them know you got tapped in via Benconnected, and they will take care of you. If you ever want jewelry and you ever want custom pieces, JCNF and Co. That is literally the coolest dude. Jared's my guy over there. He does a lot of custom work, can get you right with any piece. Make sure to tap in with them. Guys, shout out my guy over at Rock and Crust Pizza. Super incredible spot in AF. Make sure to tap in there. Get a little lunch. Make sure you tell him Ben Connected sent you there. He'll take care of you.
my first week was my hardest week because I did Ghana MTC and that was like chill. That story
Yeah.
was kind of crazy how I got there, but Ghana MTC. Then I went to Liberia. My first week was definitely the craziest, like culture shock because I said, if I had a plane ticket, I'll go home right now. Like, but it, again, that mindset of just something will end. I said I knew I signed up for 2 years and I know it will end, and people have finished it before.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just gotta get through. And after that first week, after that first email, I just left the internet cafe. Like my shoulders were lightened, and it was like the best 2 years. It was so awesome. Like I loved the people. I loved the food. It was spicy. It was to me. It was good. It how everything works. Like transportation's so crazy. The market's crazy. But it was just
That's
so
so
fun. It's
fun.
like a Mario Kart type thing. I never saw like a car accident, but like everything's like
Yeah. Everything's intertwined.
yeah.
No,
But it
that's
was crazy because I was there because I'm in like the bush some areas walking, and then I was thinking it's crazy how like I'm walking these bush trails, but I know in like a couple months or in a year I'll be chilling in and out with like my iPhone with the boys. I had on snapback
Ye-
backwards, and
yeah.
but like I'm gonna have experienced this, and yeah, it was crazy, but it was awesome.
I
Like I
mean,
loved it.
I think that's what's so powerful about a mission, man. It's like no matter where you go, it's so interesting and like so unique to your own, your own spot. Like right, like Texas was so different to me. Like compare, I mean, and don't get me wrong, like very normal, if you will, but
Yeah,
like so different,
yeah.
bro. Like, and then obviously you go to another whole country, which is also crazy. But like, dude, shout out like. How cool is it, like in high school, that you're willing to like bear your testimony to this girl, And like Kalani comes there, talks about. I mean, shout out him first and foremost. Like, I mean, Kalani. Like, I love Kalani Sataki. Like,
Yeah.
that dude is my guy. Like, I mean, we do business together. Now he's literally my guy. But one of the purest humans I've ever met. Like, I remember just talking to him, and I told my little bro, I was like, bro, I don't care if you ever see the field, you're gonna be by him. Like, I want you to learn from him.
Yeah.
Like, that dude is just so, like, he is who he is, no matter what, right? Like, and I look at him all the time. Like, last year, he's like taking blame. He's like, oh, like I should have prepared the boys better. I was like, bro, I've been to practice. I know you had those boys prepared, and my man's still being like, nah, like it's on me, you know. And like he's very like family, preaching the family, like, hey, no, like he said something. I don't know if he told, maybe he just told me. I don't know. Maybe he said it out loud. But what he said was, he's like, you know, not every one of my dudes is gonna go to the NFL. Like, obviously that's the hope and that's the
Right.
goal and that's the dream. But he's like, every single one of them is gonna be a man in society and like hopefully a father, a brother, a son. You know, they're gonna be this in society, and that's what I need to prepare them for. And I'm like, dude, that's the type of dude you want to be around, you know. And I think that, like, when you have that type of mindset, like, I think you're able to go a different route. And I think like when you go on a mission, you know, you're this 18-year-old kid. You have no idea what you're doing. You get out there and you like, you know, I remember at my first door I knocked, there's this Baptist preacher and he's like, bro, I know the Bible to the front, to the back, and your book too. And I was like, yeah, man, I dip seminary every day. Like, yeah, I don't know anything. But I'm here for a reason, you know. And it's so cool that like Jesus Christ like literally works with you where you're at, you know, and he calls you for you. And I think that's what allows you to become who you're meant to become. And I think that's what allowed you to be, you know, who you are. Like, and you're able to live that way and become this image and this brand. And I think like you have fully lived your life in that way. Like, I mean, just listening to you talk about your wrestling and your Little League football and just being about it all the time, giving it 100%. And I think like that's the story, man. Like, that's so cool. And I feel like that's so connecting. Like, no wonder you have a lot of fans. No wonder you have a lot of following, because that's such a good story that people can be like, that could be me. You know what I mean? So real quick, we'll dive into that. But like, you go on your mission, you get done with your mission, you end up playing in snow. What was that like? How did that even happen? Like,
Yeah.
now it kind of gets crazy. Now, I mean, we thought the mission was crazy, but like now the next couple of years gets crazy.
It was wild because again, even like kind of to this point, as soon as I got home from my mission, it was like, man, what's next? Like, I have no idea what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like long term, but I know right now, like I want to go play ball. And so as soon as I got back, I was talking to nobody. But then one of my friends from high school, she went to SVU to go play volleyball.
Yeah,
so they pulled up, and so I was like, you know, let me go. I've heard of them a little bit. Let me reach out to the coach. So I reached out to the coach. I was like, hey, I'm interested in play football there. This is my film. Again, my film's like 10 minutes long. That will come in later in the story. But like, it's like 10 minutes long because it's like my best plays ever. And like, no one told me how to like make film like 30 seconds of your best plays. But I was like, this is every play I was in that I made like some sort of impact.
Yeah.
But then they take me out to SVU. They're like, wait, you really want to come here? I was like, yeah. They made like a little graphic of, it wasn't even me on the screen, but it was like my name. And
that's so cool.
And so I fly out to SVU and check out the campus. And then finally you sit down. I'm like, all right, this is what tuition will be per semester. Like, okay. I don't think I want to be on this side of the country that bad.
Yeah.
And so then I was thinking about it. I was like, I can't go over there just to pay $8,500 a semester to go play D3 football. And then there's no disrespect, but like, that was not what I like had in mind. And so I was like, okay, if I were to walk on somewhere, where should I go? This was right before, or like right as Utah Tech or Dixie became a Division I.
Okay.
Or like whatever they are now, right?
Yeah.
So it was just like right below that. And then my brother was like, yeah, I know someone at Snow. And I heard like just a little bit about Snow.
Yeah.
But then again, that's something that must have been the spirit just prompted me, hey, just go to Snow. And so again, I had to walk on. So I went there during the summer.
And Snow's legit. Like, let's not get this twisted.
Exactly.
Like, let's not get this twisted. And I like one of my best
Top
friends.
10 every year in the country, JUCOs.
Like, one of my best friends, Garrett Bowles, Badger alum.
Yeah.
He started his career at Snow, went to Snow, dominated Snow, went to Utah and was 18th pick or 20th pick in the NFL. Like, Snow College produces dudes. Like,
they do.
Let's not get this.
No.
And I think there's a misconception in the youth that it's like, oh, you in JUCO. Bro, like, I tell my guys all the time, I'm like, bro, let's go run. Let's go run against some freaking college dudes and let's see how good your superstar high school is. Like, I mean, and don't get it twisted. Like, I'm super happy for my guys, but it's like, dude, there's levels to this, man.
Yeah.
Like, like the 10th guy at a D1 school could probably go to a pro-am and probably drop a cool 30 piece.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? It's different. So like snow, yeah, I think there's
Yeah.
a lot of
No,
disrespect on
snow's
snow.
like that. They're like this most recent year, they were #1 in the nation for basketball for like up until the tournament,
Yeah.
and then they like lost, which unfortunately like happens. But
Shout out our guy Isaac Garrett. You know, he was on that team last year, and now he's at Oakland University, which
that's
is
what I'm saying.
fire.
Like they had ballers even with football because a bunch of my boys are some like went higher D1, some are playing here at BYU,
Yeah.
some like hit the transfer portal, but like they had dogs down there. So I went to snow, I try out, and in my mind I'm like, well, realistically I gotta go try out to be like a running back, but and I tried reaching out to coaches. Shout out Butch Powell, like that's my guy now. But at the time, like I didn't know him,
Good
but
old
like
Butch,
I'm
bro.
hitting him up because I was like my brother kind of knows him, and so I'm like DMing him, and I'm just another kid on Instagram, just like trying to
Right.
talk to this guy, and then
Which is so funny.
right.
That dude he's a goon, bro.
And I love him. Like now that I know him and like
Yeah.
we're homies, but so I go to snow, I try out, and at the last second, I look at the linebacker, like kids who are trying out for linebacker. I was like, man, these kids, man, if they're pulling from these kids, I definitely got a shot. So I went with the linebacker instead of the running backs, and I did my tryout. I hadn't played football for 3 years,
Right.
and so like I went, and I did not get an email back, but I already told myself. I'm gonna go to snow regardless because I need to go to school somewhere.
Yeah.
So I go to school fall time. Man, nothing hurts more than watching the football boys. Like the boys that you should be with are like those are your guys.
Yeah.
Like that whole environment, and like you're just a student or whatever. And I was planning on like trying out again.
Yeah.
But then like nothing came from it. And then going into the second semester of the year, I met some kid in the gym. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm on the football team. He's like, wait, were you here last semester? Like, no, I just walked in and talked to the coach. So I'm like, okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So I went in and talked to Coach Erickson, and he was just like, he's like, well, just send me your film or whatever. And then I send him my film, and then I'm so nervous.
And all 10 minutes of it.
Exactly. So I send it to him, and then I get nothing back.
That's the worst feeling, bro.
And so then I pull up to his office again, like a week later. And I'm like, hey, man, I just really want to shot. Like, I'll be on scout team. I'll do, like, anything. I just want to be on the team, because I knew I wasn't going to be on scholarship. Anyways, and then he brought up my film. He's like, man, I was like, you watch my film? He's like, man, why you got 10-minute film? Like, don't you know you film? She'd be like, sure. I was like, yeah, my bad. But then he's like, because at the time I finished my first semester with a 4.0. I said, if it wasn't for your grades, like, it'd be easy no, but since you got good grades, like, yeah. So then.
Especially because that helps the bolster the.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so I started. Now that was a year, and that was actually, it was so incredible how awesome that was, because that was 2020.
Okay.
So I got home 2019, worked until August 2020.
Kind of COVID time.
Yes, and so football season, like there was no football in the fall, but out of the very few football programs, divisions that played,
Yeah.
we played in the spring. So as soon as I get on the team in January, our first game is like March.
Oh, wow.
So so I was on the team for an actual season. It wasn't just like spring ball.
Yeah.
So it was cool. So like now I'm running with the running backs. And again, and this is where I'll say like I really understand how college ball really works, not just for football, but for kind of everything.
Yeah.
In high school we got like 25 guys on the team, and in college you got 120.
Yeah.
And 70 dress out, 50 might see the field. What about the other 50? I mean, it's not that they're bad. It's just that they're just not the top 70, which is crazy to think about. And I was not the top 70 because I'm a running back now. They put me at running back.
Yeah.
And I'm behind all these guys who were ballers in high school.
Right.
Who could have gone D1 or who went D1, bounce back, all this stuff. And so I'm just like, no, I'm just happy to be there. So I'm in the weight room. I'm just trying to push weight, and people are like, oh, that's cool, because I'm still quick. I'm still strong. But as far as like, I never played running back before. I run the ball a little bit as a fullback, but like
not
I did
like
not
running
have
back. Running back's different than a fullback.
And so as soon as we got on scout team, again, I'm on scout team behind scout O against starting D. And like I get that ball, everything crashes, everything's so fast, and I just try to do my thing. But it was cool because like that was the year we went to the national championship and lost by like 2 or 3 points to Hutchinson. So like we had an incredible year. We had ballers on the team, and that's why I tell people like I try to say, no, I didn't play football. I was on the football team, although I did play a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But like it was
Humble.
what it was,
But but let's not get it twisted though, bro. Like you still were on the team, and I think people have a misconception, like, bro, like even if you're on a scout team, how you produce at scout matters, because if you are a bad scout player and you take it off, like, and you don't really take it serious, that's only gonna prevent the starters to play well.
Mm-hmm.
So like honestly, the best scout teams are the teams that help the starters play well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if you aren't locked in and you're not, taking it serious on scout, like, it's only going to hurt the starters
Yeah.
anyway. So, like, honestly, I think scout and practice players are actually more vital than people might think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. Maybe that's a hot take, but I'm not saying they're more important than
No,
the starter. But I'm telling
yeah,
you right
it's
now, in
important.
practice, if a scout player is not being serious, it's only hurting the
Yeah.
team. Like, so Ammon played on the football team at Snow. He wasn't just on the team, he freaking played.
Yeah.
We're going to find Ammon a girl this year.
I'm figuring out, that'll be awesome,
Hey, we're going to do it like a little, enter to win. Enter to win a date with Ammon.
Yeah.
Just operating, like, just how you operate, how we've talked today, and how I've, kind of watched you on social media and having you on my, and, like, my thing about my podcast is, like, my podcast is not for clout. Like, I could care less if I have 1 view, 200 views.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not about that. Like, I want to talk to people about just real things, tell your story. And it was funny, like, I ran into Ammon this is how I knew this episode was going to be good, and that Ammon's a good dude, is that we ran into each other at the Cougar kickoff. And he's like, yeah, I mean, I don't really know, like, what I'm going to talk about. I'm just like a chill. I can't remember exactly what you said.
Right.
But I was like, bro, like, that's what's cool. You have a whole story of who you are. And I think that's why, like, when people ask me, why did you start Benconnected? Because I'm really connected to a lot of people. And that's kind of my thing, is knowing people and how to know them. Not just to know them, just to say, like, I know them, but, like, to truly know them. But also just, like, talk about real stuff, real conversation, and really be able to relate to, like, I don't relate to whatever kind of fakeness, but like real conversations I can relate to. And so I want everyone to follow Ammon on Instagram, TikTok, whatever like platform you have. Follow his socials. We'll drop them below. But again, Ammon, I appreciate you coming on, like hopping on the podcast, telling us kind of how you got to where you're at. I hope like nothing but success for you. And again, appreciate you spending the time to come on here on the episode, man.